All right, guys, we begin our journey, our final lap into exams. And what I decided to do was to start with paper two because most of the time we focus a lot on paper one and then rush through paper two. Is that okay? So, and in paper two, I know analytical, we kind of a lot settled there. This is where the problem starts when we get in here. So, can we quickly start running through all of this as quickly as possible? It says cos 48 equals to t. We must know how to interpret that. Look, the first thing when it comes to trig that I do is to remember that I am looking at SOHCAHTOA. Is that okay? And to remember that sine theta is y over r, cos theta is what? X over r, and tan theta is what? Y over what? Guys, please don't forget this. It's the basic foundation for you getting well into your trig. And you know, obviously, the theorem of what? Pythagoras. X squared plus y squared equals to what? R squared. Now, if I have cos 48 equals to t, what does that mean? It means t over what? 1. That's the basic thing that I need everyone to know. So it means this is what? Cos 48 equals to what? T over 1. By the way, what is cos? It is x over r. Do you see your x already? Do you see your r already? What's missing? Y. And how do we get y? Theorem of what? Pythagoras. X squared plus y squared equals to what? R squared. What's our x? T squared. What's our y? We don't know. What's our r? 1 squared, which is what? 1. What is y therefore? 1 minus t squared. Y squared, which means this is what? Root. And this time around, this is going to be a positive value. Why positive? Because we are in the first what? Quadrant. If you are not sure, always draw. Right? Do we agree that we are in the first quadrant, guys? Because 48 is in the first what? Quadrant. Check that. What do we have here? We have what? 48. We have our y, we have our x. Our y, therefore, has to be positive. 1 minus what? T squared, which is what? Square. Guys, the rest now, it's now playing around things. We have our x, we have our y, we have our what? R. Does that make sense to you? Now, what is cos 228? Don't stress. Take your calculator and reduce. I thought that's the first thing you do to check first. Cos 228 equals to shift cos answer. Let's quickly check. Guys, right now we are done with you knowing. We are now playing smart. Is that okay? They beat us at content. Let's beat them at being smart. What is cos 228? Okay, if it's 132, I told you if it's for cos, you have to subtract what? 180 from it. Because you are trying to see if you are going to get 48. Come, calculator, check. What do you have? So I'll say what? What was the cos 228, right? 228 equals to. Then I'll come and say shift cos answer. You see, that's my first instinct, 132. For cos, then you say minus what? 180. What are you saying? Minus 40. Already I'm done. There's no need to cram anything. There's no need to do anything. What is this giving you? This is now giving you what? Negative cos 48. And what is cos 48? T. Negative what? T. 1 mark there, 1 mark there. You are done. That makes sense. I don't want us to lose easy marks. Sine 48. Oh, definitely. Sine 48. Y over R. I'm going to need to do that. And already, do I know my Y? What is the Y? All right. Root of 1 minus what? T squared. I'm done. But show that step of calculation. We are done there. Is that making sense? Number 3. Cos what? 96. Quickly, check in your head. There's a connection between 48 and 96. What is it? double angle. Oh, so this one can be written as what? Cos 2 times 48, which is cos 2 theta. And what would that give you? 2 cos squared 48 minus 1. What would this give you? 2. What is cos 48? T squared. Check. We are done. That making sense? Your head must start thinking, okay, they are going to give me double angles. They are going to give me half angles. We're getting ready for them. Does that make sense? Because 2 times, so always first check the relationship. I like the one they gave you in your prelims. It was very lovely. You had to change first, then I think they gave you 21 and 42. I don't remember, but it was kind of beautiful, very beautiful. I love it. Okay, but let's see something. Let's check this one. Do you notice 93 just is now springing out from nowhere? 93 has nothing to do with 48. Sine 93. How do we connect 93 and 48? The first thing I'm going to do, please watch. 93. I'll say, let's check. What if I say, I'm going to play around my special angles. 93 minus 48. I want to see what's going on. Aha, I'm done. 45. Okay? What you are doing is you are trying to quickly see what that 93 has in connection. So I'm quickly, first thing is to check, what do I add to 48 to 90? You understand what I'm saying? So we said 93 minus what? 48 is equal to what? 45. What is 45? It's a special angle. So it means I can then write my sine 93 as sine 48 plus 45. Which then gives me what? For sine, what do we have? Sine 48 cos 45 minus sine 45 cos 48. Make sense? So I know sine 48. That's why they gave me earlier on. Root of what? 1 minus t squared. What is sine 45? Okay, we can just go for root 2 over 2 straight. Sorry, plus. All right? What is sine 45? Plus root 2 over 2. What is cos 48? Cos 48 is what? T. Check, we are now done here. No, cos 48 is T. Cos 40. So, I don't know, did it make sense to you? What do we have? If you want to simplify, root, okay, if root multiplies root, what do you have? What is your root A times root B? Child, is root AB. You take the things and multiply under the denominator. Makes sense? If you want to do that to make life simple for us, what are we going to get here? Let's go to the next. Let's go to a different page. But the whole idea is finding your way out quickly without wasting time. Finding your way out quickly without wasting what? Time. Okay, can we then simplify this? What do you have? Root of what? Can we multiply in? 2 minus what? 2t squared over 2 plus what? T root 2. Now, since they have the same denominator, can we then say that? What do we have? 2 minus 2t squared plus t root 2. Please talk to me. Is there anyone who is challenged with what I did? Common factor of? Over 2. No. So you can say root 2 over 2. What do you have? Root 1 minus what? T squared plus what? T. All of this is 1 mark. How many marks was this question? 4. That's 1. That's 2. That's 3. And then simply, so even if you get your simplification wrong, see, guys, at least you have 3 over 4. Is it making sense? So the idea always is to start from what you are given and find a way. Double angles, half angles. Please, guys, we need to work every single day now. Every single day. Whether there's schoolwork or not, let's try to push and quickly focus on the things you struggled with. Is that okay? Right now that we are all still pushing a little bit, let's focus on the things that we struggled with. This make sense? You can take it from here and fight more trick questions, right? Okay, what about this one? This is free 5 marks. Completely free 5 marks. In fact, you can decide not to write it. It's so free. What is sine 36? Leave it. Don't start playing. Leave it. Sine 36. Come, let's work. Sine what? 36. Sine theta. What can we do to sine theta? Nothing. Let's use brackets so that we don't get confused. Is that fine with us? Now, what is cos 90 minus theta? I want us to work perfectly. Don't make a mistake of sine. And don't make a mistake of whatever. What 90 minus theta? Is sine theta. Beautiful. Sine what? Theta. Over. What is sine 756? You are using 756 minus 720. We don't do that. Check here. We just go to our calculator. Just stop subtracting. Check. Here, I bought a calculator to use it. I don't want to use my brain. What is sine 756? Equals to shift sine answer. Boom. 36. Do you see that we're not subtracting? What did you say? We're not subtracting anything. It gives you straight. It makes sense though. All right. Okay, thanks. What is sine 2 theta? Can we change it? What is sine 2 theta? 2 sine theta cos theta multiplied by what? Cos theta over 2 sine theta. Can that go? Can this go? What do we have? Sine squared theta plus cos squared theta. And this is what? 1. 5 marks. Oh, beautiful 5 marks. Let's check. Where do you think they'll give you marks? Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. You should make the whole paper like this. You will enjoy. But is it making sense, guys? Guys, I'm very jealous and I'm worried about the marks that we lost for prelims. I know you were under pressure. Yes. Mabato, talk to me. Your hand is raised. Talk to me. Unmute yourself and talk to me. Good. Mabato, talk to me. Your hand is raised. Oh, but do you understand what we did? Oh, sweet. You're okay. Lovely. Come, can you quickly try to prove this identity for me? 4 marks, everybody. 4 marks. Prove this identity. Come, I need the pens out now. 4 marks. You have 4 minutes. Prove that identity. Tell me you were able to prove this. Anybody done? Done. Get it. Except the question is wrong, but I don't think it can be. Not wrong, right? Yeah, it's back. I fixed it. I saw what the problem was. Come, guys, you can't tell me that we cannot get this thing. I'm going to wait for you guys to be able to prove it, please. Did it. Thank you. So one person has done it, so it's possible. Alante, talk to me. No, go back again. If one person gets it, then the question is correct. Oh. Oh, Regan also got it. Second person in. Come. Yeah, you can. Wait. Guys, don't tell me that this thing is now harassing you. Driver, I don't believe what Met is doing to you. Tut, you are bowing to Met. No, what's the problem? Okay, tell me what you would do. Let's work together. Kuvadia, are you? Hey, Kuvadia, what's going on? Come on, Simanke, Udefa, so many of you there. Nilufa, come on. Okay, wait. What would you do, guys? Let's do it step by step. What is the first thing you would do? Change tan, right? Okay, what is tan squared? Can we say sine squared x over cos squared x? Is that fine with everybody? Okay. Now we have a bracket. Now, what is 1 over 10? Cos over what? Sine. What is 10? Sine over cos. Sine theta over cos theta equals to 10. If you swap it, 1 over 10. Can't see what's wrong with you guys. Prelims finished you. Or what? Guys, check. 10 theta over 1. So swap it. You have 1 over 10. And what does that give you? Cos over sine. And there's a squared there. For the squared. I'm already done. Cos squared theta over sine squared theta minus 1. Can we multiply in? You notice sine squared. Why am I using theta and x now? Are you aware that if I multiply the first one, it gives me 1? Because sine squared will cancel sine squared. Cos squared will cancel cos squared. Are you there? It's basically saying you are multiplying this tan into that. So what do you have? 1 minus sine squared x over cos squared x. Check your answer. We are not there yet. Can we put over 1? DDD. Diagonal, diagonal, denominator. Do you see my denominator is already there? Come on, guys. Math is fun. 1 times cos squared x would give us what? Cos squared x minus, we multiply across. What do you have? Sine squared x over cos squared x. Cos squared x minus sine squared x. That's an identity. What identity is that? Cos 2x over cos squared. My people. Guys, can you see it? 4 lines. Are you hiding your face? You looked at me and then looked away. Nah. Guys, just let's enjoy and follow the principles of math. It's fun. Okay. Now, they said this identity will be undefined. For it to be undefined, what do we know? The denominator must be equal to what? 0. But guys, anytime tan is in your equation, please understand tan 45, no, tan 90 would be what? Undefined. Know that, right? Now, between 0 and 360, which tans will be undefined? Tan 0 is 0, right? Tan 45 is 1. Tan 90 is undefined. Tan 270, already I have 2 answers. You guys are looking at me as if I'm speaking. Okay, hold on. The first thing we'll do is what? Our denominator will be 0. Do you understand why I'm saying 10? Because the whole equation has 10 already. So what are the angles that are undefined? Those are your asymptotes. 90 and what? 270. Make sense? Let's try it without even calculating. Let's try something. Just you knowing those are my asymptotes. Check. Can we put, what did we say? 90, right? There's 90 and there's no need to even work. What is cos 90? You're all doing physics. Cos 90 is what? 0. The denominator becomes what? 0. We are done there. Cos 270? What is cos 270? Check. 0. Do you notice when x is 270, the denominator also becomes what? So please take note. For any time when you see tan, make a note for yourself. For tan theta to be undefined, use the asymptotes. Theta must be equal to what? 90 degrees. Which means we didn't even need to calculate anything here in this question. It's 2 marks. 1, 2. You calculated. But let's see. Let's calculate. What would we have done? We would have made the denominator to be what? 0. Okay. We could probably get more options. Let's just check. Somebody who did not do that. Denominator, which means cos squared x, will be equal to what? 0. Which means cos x equals to what? 0. X equals to the arc cos of 0, which is what? 90. Plus k what? 360. But once you see them giving you a domain, it means you need to list your angles. So already I have what? 90. Make sense? But here we're talking about 0. So we need to talk about what? First quadrant and the fourth quadrant, because that's where cos is what? Positive. So 90, if I put, so already we know this is what? 90. What about the fourth quadrant? Our reference angle is what? 90. So in Q4, do you remember? X will be what? 360 minus your reference what? Angle, which is what? 90. What's your answer? 270. I hope that information would help you. That once you see 10 in the equation, always consider. Sometimes it's more than this. But as long as there's 10 in it, you must add what? 90 and 2. Did that make sense, guys? Please talk to me. Did it make sense to you all? Those at home, please talk very fast, very fast. A lot of us were beaten by trigs and Euclidean. Okay. Can we try the general solution? Guys, it is very simple though. They are saying, yeah, tan x squared multiplied by what? 1 over 10 squared x minus 1 equals to what? It's two brackets that are giving you 0. What are we saying? It's either the first bracket equals to 0 or the second bracket equals to... Come on, give me an answer. You have 3 minutes. I want you to notice that what scares you all is just the presentation of maths. Sorry? Then, if they're written a certain number, then I will use cos 2x. In fact, I'm going to use the top one when you are done. I'm enjoying maths too much. This is cos squared x equals to half. Why not finding the squares of both sides? Then that's 1 over 4. It cannot give you 45. Oh, will it give you? 1 over root 2. Oh, yeah, 1 over root 2. However, we are not done though. You only did first quadrant because it's positive. Oh, you need to sort it out. You need to get the other quadrant. What's that? What you did, I want to show you something. You are likely, in fact, okay, you did plus or minus. But I don't like the plus or minus thing. Yeah, my green's back. Okay, guys, let's quickly walk through this in two different ways. Let's take it from here. Is that okay? Let's take it from here. All right. It's either the first bracket equals to 0, which can we say 10? Quickly, let's run. 10. Let me do it on a fresh page. Do you remember this? You remember? No, I don't want you to cram anything. Okay, so Elena who decides to use this, what will their solution be like? What will their solution be? All right, it's either tan squared x equals to 0 or 1 over tan squared x minus 1. I want you to trust process in maths. Can we find the square root of both sides here? What do we have? Tan x will be equal to what? 0. What is our reference angle here? We say arctan of what? 0, which is equal to what? 0. So we're talking about the positive value. Where is it positive? First and third, but you don't need to do the 2, just do 1. No, let me show you. Oh, you forgot. So if it's second and fourth for tan, just do 2. You don't need to do the fourth one. If it's 1 and 3, just do quadrant 1. You don't need to do the third one. You okay there? All right. So can we go to quadrant 1? What are we solving for? We're solving for x, right? Okay, so x equals to what? 0. Plus k what? 180, 10. K being an element of integers. Can we now go through the second solution? Okay. Second solution, what do we have? 1 over tan squared x. Can I move that 1 over? Can we cross multiply? What do I have? Tan squared x equals to what? 1. Can we find the square root of both sides? What are we going to get? Tan x equals to plus or minus. Is that okay? Plus or minus. Don't forget that. Now, can we find our reference what? Angle. Don't worry about the plus or minus. It only tells you where? The quadrant. So what are we going to say? Arctan of what? Root of 1. And what is the root of 1? 45. Make sense? Do we agree, everybody? Root of 1 is 1. And arctan of 1 is what? 45. So what's our answer? 45. Now we are forced to go to quadrant 1 and quadrant 2. Why quadrant 1 and 2? We have plus or minus. So here we're saying plus or minus what? 1. So if we are dealing with plus, it is quadrant 1 and quadrant what? 3. But we don't need to do both. We do 1. Negative. Where is tan negative? Quadrant what? 2 and quadrant what? 4. We don't need to do both. Make sense? And you remember your this is what? Ref angle. This is what? Theta minus what? 180 minus ref angle. Right? 180 minus the ref. What is this? 180 plus ref and 360 minus the reference angle. So can we deal with Q1 quickly? Very fast. In the first quadrant, it's just reference angle, right? And we are solving for what? X. So what are we going to say? X equals to what our reference angle? 45. Because it's 10. K what? 180. K being an element of integers. What about Q2? X equals to what? 180 minus. Is because if you are doing Q3, you are repeating Q1. So it's going to be 180 minus 45 plus what? 180, K 180, right? Plus K 180. What's your answer? 135 plus what? K 180, where K is an element of integers. These are your answers. Guys, check your answers. 3. It's general solution. So there's a 0, there's a 45, and there's a 135. Aha, now you've completed it. You have to, because your answers will be incomplete now. Guys, is this making sense? I should use cos what? There's no cos what in the question. Cos 2x over cos x. Cos squared x. Okay. You want to see something? Okay, sweet. Magic. All right. But guys, did this one make sense so far? Alante, can I move? You sure? All right. What was that one? Cos what? Talk to me. Okay. Cos 2x over cos squared x equals to what? Let's cross multiply. What are we going to get? Cos 2x is equal to what? 0. Right? Let's find our reference angle. Will be equal to what? Shift cos of what? Or arc cos of 0, which is what? 90. But we are going to be in 2 quadrants. 1 and 4. In Q1, guys, we are now solving for what? We're no longer solving for x. We're solving for what? 2x. What are we going to have? In Q1, it is just equal to that angle, which is equal to what? 90. Plus k what? 360. Can we divide? What are we going to get? 45. Plus k what? Oh, sorry. K 180. K being an element of. Do we have this solution? Let's check. 45 plus k 180. Do we have it? There we go. It's right there. Sweet. Next one. Q what? Where are we now? 4. Q4. All right. What do we have? 2x equals to what? 360 minus 90, which gives us what? 270. Plus k what? 360. Can we divide by that? What are we going to have? 135 plus k what? 180. Do we have that solution? However, do you notice there's an extra solution here? How do we then bring this solution in? Guys, it's a 0 here. It's a 0. Automatically, one of the options must be 0. Because cos, wait. No, but cos 0 is what? 1, right? Cos 0 is 1. Let's see something. Cos 0 is 1. Because that one has 3 solutions. Okay, for this thing to be 0, we are saying the numerator must be equal to 0. The denominator cannot be equal to 0. Once the denominator is equal to 0, we're going to have what? Undefined. Okay, let me check something here quickly. Tan is very dangerous though. 10. Tan is not playing, chef. All right, no. This one cannot be a solution. What is tan 0? Tan 0 is 0. Now, do you notice if I put a 0 there, it's 1 over what? 0, which becomes what? Undefined. So we are testing now again. Make sense? Red card. So tan is very, very tricky with tan because of the asymptote thing. All right? So it's good to test that again to say, okay, but tan cannot be what? X cannot be what? 0, because it makes my denominator to be equal to what? 0. And once my denominator is 0, it becomes what? undefined. But do you see that no matter what we use, we have the same answer? Have you seen your magic? Okay. Guys, I want us to practice and get good marks on this. Given f of x as sine x minus 1 and g of x as 1 minus 2 sine squared x, what would you do here? Determine the values of x in the interval 270 to 360 for which g of x minus f of x will be a... What would you do? What's your first step? That's my first step. G of x, if whether I'm going to continue from there or not, we would see. But I will find what g of x minus f of x is. Guys, don't just leave a question. Some of you like, I don't know what to do. No. Are you aware that if I say g of x minus f of x, I must get a mark there? No matter what. 150 minus 5. No, but I want us to approach the question to say, okay, what will I do? Do you see g of x? I think we can try that, right? So, what is g of x minus f of x? I think we can try as much as possible to get some marks there. What is g of x? 1 minus 2 sine squared x minus, what is f of x? Sine x plus 1. Do you agree with me? I have changed the signs now. Why? Because it's a minus. I'm opening a bracket. Please, okay, don't let me break my own rules. Please. Always. So, what do we have? 1 minus 2 sine squared x minus sine x. I think we can simplify to a point here. What is 1 plus 1? 2. So what do we have? Negative 2 sine squared x minus sine. At least I know that I'll get the mark there. No matter what. So it's not minus 5. Maybe minus 4. Thank you. You are seeing a quadratic. But wait. Don't derive here now. Wait, don't derive here. Simply because we are dealing with what? Trig. Thank you. Because it is a quadratic, it's a parabola. You notice your A. Wait, hold on. Are you aware that we're dealing with something like this? K squared minus K plus 2. This is what we're dealing with. What is the shape here? That's why they give you a maximum. Because you're A, and that's the maximum. What is that? Turning point minus B over 2A. No, to derive now, you have to derive sine, and we're not deriving trigs yet. You only derive it in varsity now. But if you use it as K, we might be able to derive it because we are deriving with respect to K. So if we derive this, what are we going to get? With respect to K, minus 4K minus 1 equals to what? 0. So you see, the fact that I'm using K now makes the bit what? Simple. Is that fine? Okay. So what are we going to get? Minus 4K equals to what? 1. What is K? But what is K here? Sine x. So sine x equals to what? Negative 1 over 4. Does that make sense? Wait, if we were to find the turning point, what would the turning point be? Minus b over 2a. Since we're using k, can we say k would be equal to what? Minus b over 2a. Minus, what's our b? Minus 1 over 2 minus 2. What are we getting? K is equal to what? No, we are now looking for the value of what? X. We don't substitute. They said, find the value of X. Now we know our K. What's our K? Sine X, therefore, is equal to what? Negative 1 over 4. Are you with me? Now, let's solve together. So, it's a matter of interpreting the steps. Okay, let's solve. General solution again, right? What does negative tell us? We are in what? Talk to me. Q3 and what? Q4. What is our reference angle, by the way? It's going to be the arc sine of what? 1 over 4. Do you want to give me an answer? 14, 48. Okay, so in Q3, what are we solving? X, right? Which is what? 180 plus. So it's 180 plus 14, what? 48 plus K what? 360. What's your answer? 194,48 degrees. I want to check something. What's the domain? They said 270 to 360. We're not going to get anything here. This would not fall in between 270 because we are adding what? K what? 360. Okay? Let's go try where? Which actually makes sense because 270 to 360 is in your fourth what? Quadrant. So there was nothing we're busy doing here. Is it making sense? Because 270 to 360, examiner is already restricting us to what? Quadrant number 4. So, can we go to Q4? Why? They gave us between what? 270 degrees to what? 360 degrees. So, what is it going to be? X will be equal to what? 360 minus 14,48 plus K what? 360, which we don't need at the end of the day. What's your answer? 345,52 degrees. That's our answer. So don't let's run away from the question. Let's just interpret. Maximum means our first derivative should be equal to what? 0, or we can use what? Turning point. Makes sense. And it's a quadratic. Lovely piece of question there. What are you getting? Talk. Don't whisper. If that answer is not talk. Hey, I say 5, 3, 5, no. Guys, okay, you are saying where did we round off? Where did they round off? 14, what? Okay, now what is 360 minus that answer? 5, 3. You sure? Okay, with maths, we this that. But your answer should still come back to that, though. Yeah, your answer will still come back to this. Yeah, that's the answer. It must come back to that. Okay, that's why I was asking to say 477. Say 360 minus that. That answer will still come back to 5, 2. When you did it, you now said minus 47. You didn't say minus answer. Aha, look up into the sky. All right. But guys, did it make sense? What are the keywords? The keyword was what? Maximum. And we know this is such a beautiful piece of question. I love it. I love it. I love it. They are my twin. Okay, let's quickly answer. This is 10 marks. Sharp, sharp. No. Let's do it together. But I wanted to walk through I want to ask you a few questions in plotting this graph. Okay, Tuto? In the diagram below, the graph of f of x equals to cos x. This is a normal cos x, right? It's drawn between the interval 90 to 270. On the grid provided, draw the graph of sine 2x minus 1. What will you do? We're pushing the calculator, right? Okay, what's your step? What is your step? I taught you how to get step. That if you have sine k x, your step will be what? 90 over what? K. And you will see your k is now what? 2. So what's our step? Our step, therefore, is what? 45. Can we, everybody, let's put it in a calculator. I want us, those of you at home as well, let's put in a calculator. We need to get the same answer. Everybody, we're plotting what? Sine 2x minus 1. I need to make sure everyone can do that. Know your start? Everybody being able to do that. Okay. I am comparing now my answer with yours. Table. What is f of x? Sine what? 2x. Can we close the bracket? Minus what? 1. Start. Have to always close the bracket though. Don't need it. What are we sketching? We're sketching what? Graph of that. Okay. If you don't close the bracket, we're going to have a problem. You know what your graph will be doing? If you don't close the bracket, your calculator would find sine 2. And then multiply that. You see, it won't be finding sine 2x. It will find sine 2. And then start multiplying sine 2 with all the angles. I don't know if it's making sense. Huh? If you don't put a bracket, your calculator would find sine 2 first. And then, so instead of, for example, if your x is 45 and you don't put a bracket, your calculator will find sine 2, get an answer, and then multiply by 45. But that's not what you intended. You intended for your calculator to find sine 90 because it's 2 times 45. Make sense? All right. What is our start? I lost the domain. Negative 90. What is our stop? 270. What is our step? Guys, please confirm. Is this what you have? Please take note of that bracket. Please take note of the... Did you put a bracket, can't you? What are you having? So the bracket, if I don't put the bracket, can we check what the answer would be? It will be very funny. Funny numbers. So please take note of the bracket. Take note of the bracket. Very key. Those of us at home, are we still on board? Guys, I'm sorting out trigs once and for all now. Sorry? I gave you a table to check your book. Are you a lawyer? No. If Bonga, if you want to ask. So she's not asking. Can you see what's going on there? She's not asking. When now you said you're asking for her, but she's not asking. So are you asking for yourself? Now you're... So please leave me alone. Guys? Okay, quickly give me answers. Let's catch. Time is running on. Not negative 90? Negative 1. Okay, with the way this graph is, our negative 1 should be here, right? Negative 90, negative 1. Next one. Negative 45, negative 2, which is right here, right? That's why the examiner also, you see, they gave you space there. Negative what? 2, which is there. 0, negative 1. 45, 0. No. Am I right? 90, right? 90 is what? Negative 1. Okay. And then what happens? Negative what? 2. What happens? That's fine. Huh? Okay. All right. Can we keep going? What was this one? What's the next one? No, before 270, 235, 225, 0. And then we go back to 270, which gives us what? Okay, I'm seeing something there. Ricardo, it means you've not been sketching. Check. Ricardo, it is mode, table. What do you have? Sine 2. Now go to alpha. Press alpha, then one next to shift. Alpha. Now once you press, there's where you have your brackets. There's X there written in pink. Press it. Tell me if you got it, Ricardo. What process are we starting? No, your calculator is not drunk. Check. There's no need to know if your calculator is fine. Sine 30 equals to half. Your calculator is fine. You are the one. We are done. We are done. Your calculator, if sine 30 is half, you are the one that is drunk, not your calculator. It's you. Ricardo, talk to me. I'm waiting for you to respond. Have you found X? Beautiful. Beautiful. Drunk. Okay, can we sketch this graph now quickly? Please, not a ruler. Is that okay? Not a ruler. You'll get a mark for the turning point. You'll get a mark for x-intercept. Guys, there we go. Write down the amplitude of G. Many people lost marks here. Guys, amplitude is always positive. We're writing -2 in your prelim paper. Houghton learners. Amplitude is always what? Positive. It's top minus bottom divided by 2. Yes. Our amplitude is always what? Positive. A is top minus bottom divided by 2. Please take note. It is always what? Positive. The negative in front tells you that it has been reflected. I haven't gone through. All right. Which one are we looking for? G. Is it G? Is it G? Guys, what is the maximum? The one on top? 0. What is at the bottom? -2. All right. So what do we have? 0 minus -2 over 2, which is equal to what? 1. Amplitude is always positive. Determine the coordinate of the turning point of f of x minus 30 in the interval between 180 and 270. Wait, minus 30. What have they done? Ancho, what have they done? Never. It's not down. It's in the bracket with x. It is horizontal. And x's are always deceiving. Minus in your head says left. But it's your x that is talking to you. It is deceiving. So it would not be left. There's a lion there. X is telling you go there. Just know that who's talking? It's the voice of my x. So I'm going to go opposite direction. So if it's minus 30, where's it going? to the right. By how many units? 30 units. Okay. What they said we should write what? The coordinate of the turning point. Guys, where is our turning point here? Our turning point is at what? 0 and 1. If then shift it 30 units to the right, that turning point is going to be 30 and 1, right? However, look at your domain. They said between what? 180 and 270. Can we go to 180 and 270? And that's your turning point. When I shift that 30 units to the right, where will it be? 210. 180 right now, right? Where are we going? 30 units towards the right. So it's 180 plus 30 because we are shifting to the right. Does that make sense to you? What's your answer? 210 degrees. They said coordinate 1. Sorry, negative 1. Because it's at the bottom. Bending your head. Are you lost? Please, guys, who is lost? Use your graph to determine what? 3 possible solutions. Aha. Check. Examiner wants to play with you here. Set sine 2x. What we need to do is to find a way of writing this in terms of what? F of x and g of x. Let's try. What do we have as f of x? Cos x. Let me get a fresh page. Huh? Sorry? Careful about dividing. Don't divide when you are doing general solutions. Never. What? Don't divide. Once you divide, you are losing the solution. It's right there. Okay, check this. X squared equals to x. What's the value of x? No, what's the value of x? Logic quickly tells you divide both sides by what? By x, right? So what do you say? X equals to 1. But Elena who understands that maths can be funny sometimes. It's always a trap. We'll bring that x over and tell you what? X squared minus x equals to 0. Can we factorize? Check how many solutions this Lena is having. Or, and this Lena is very correct, because 0 squared is equal to 0, 1 squared equals to 1. This Lena only has one solution. Why? When you see that, when it comes to general solution, in fact, if you go and check my notes, first point, never, ever, ever divide. Except, okay, so you are trying to excuse yourself. Never, ever divide, except you are going to get what? 10. Can we not divide? What do we have? Sine what? 2x multiplied by what? Cos x. Can we bring the cos x over? What's common? X. What do we have? 9. Are you seeing? What is cos x? F of x multiplied by g of x is equal to what? 0. Whenever you see this question, you write it in form of what? F of x and g of x. And these are the last questions that we don't always like. F of x. What are we looking for? For me to multiply two things to get 0, either f of x equals to 0 or g of x equals to what? Where is f of x equals to 0? Let's look at the graph. The black one. Oh, mind you, they gave you a domain between 90 and 270. So where are we looking at? We are looking at this frame, right? We are looking at where the graph touches what? The x-axis. That's what we're looking at. So what are we looking at? 90 and 270. Those best options. So what do I have? 90 degrees, 70 degrees. What about g of x? It was 45, 45, 45, right? 2 to 5. Let's test it. Let's test quickly. Let's test something. Sine 2. Let's pick 90. What is, okay, we are mathematicians. Sine, what is 2 times 90? 180, okay. Multiplied by what? Cos, we chose 90, right? Right hand side there, cos x. Let's test 270. Guys, I don't know if you guys see what I'm doing when I'm testing. I'm using my origin. What is 270 times 2? 540. What is sine? Go back to the original question. It says 2x. So sine what? 540. Cos 270. That's the left-hand side. What is the right-hand side telling us? Cos, what's our x? 270. And what's cos 270? But they give you a question like this under the graph, make sure you write it as what? If whether it is in functions or trig functions. Write it as f. Do you see if we are divided, we're going to lose it. Are you sure? So we will now be getting what sine 2x equals to 1. Then we'll say sine 2x minus 1 equals to 0. Having one solution. We divide. Oh, I didn't even read that. 3 possible. How many options do we have? 3. If we divide, let's check. This is dangerous. Divide by cos x, we would have what? Sine 2x would then be equal to 1, right? Then we can say sine 2x minus 1 equals to 0. What is x? And that's sweating the exam. All right, guys, we do not divide. Make sense? Okay, guys, quickly. Oh, didn't I put 2D and 3D? But it's fine. Please get me 6 marks before we close. There are 4 minutes. Everybody. And 3D. Guys, I'm not going to come back to trigs, right? We don't have the luxury of time. We'll move on. I need to save this video quickly. Remember, don't do too many things. Trace the source. Type the nature. That's all I'm going to use here. Make sure you read the top there, because many of you did not read. I promise you. Tell me if you are done with the 3. Are you done with the 3 of them? Okay. Are feeling very confident. They want me to mark. But I would prefer here Come on, guys. We should be done with this 6 marks. Too easy. This one is easier than writing your name. I promise you. First, describe the nature. Wow, what a productive session it was, eh? That it stays in the head. Done. Yeah? Done. You feeling yourself? Alante? Done. Come, guys, I want to see your messages. Done, done, done at home. Quickly. Done, done, stuck. Not done. I'm done. Quickly. I want to see those messages coming through. Regan, thank you. Done. Keto, done. Lovely. Ricardo, done. Beautiful. Nilufa, where are you? Done. Gundo, beautiful. Thank you so much. Done. Kaya, done. We're going to mark now. Nilufa, done. And you guys are likely to lose 1 mark somewhere. Oh, I changed my mind. It's my mind and I can change it. Come on, Udefa. Are you there? Done. Done. Please. Etabo. Come on. Michelle. Mabato. Too many of you guys. Simanke. Okay, guys, electricity gonna go off. I need to save this video. Number 1, what is E? Guys, please trace the source. Is that okay? Do you notice that E comes from a cyclic chord? You go through all the properties of a cyclic chord. So can we say E equals to what? 60 degrees. What's your reason? Exterior angle is equal to what? Opposite interior what? Angle. We are done. What is O1? Why? Okay, you want to say angles in the same segment? No, these are alternate segments. Here's the question. I get what you're saying. That BD subtend this angle and this angle, but they are not in the same segment. This is the major segment. This is the minor segment. All right, quickly. I've got 1 minute. What is O1? Angle at the center. 120 degrees. Angle at center is equal to what? 2 times angle at circumference. The last one? Please, the last one. Tell us first that angle B1 is equal to what? D1. Angles opposite, equal sides. Only then you can now say sum of angles in a triangle. So what is D1 going to be? Is it 30? 30 degrees. Sum of angles in a triangle. Does it make sense, guys? I've still not mentioned that you use sum of angles in a triangle. You lose that 1 mark. So here, it was 1 mark, 1 mark. Uh-huh. Yeah, you are saying that, but you have not mentioned angles. Okay, guys, I'm going to need to shut down because of keto. What's your question? We need to save. Let me save, and I'll deal with your question.